Good day everyone! Welcome to this video presentation. This is Sheila, your Science 8 teacher. Are you ready to learn, explore, and take the challenges? If yes, get your pen, answer sheet, and self-learning module. Okay, let's get started. In this video, you are expected to 1. Analyze the roles of organisms in the cycling of materials. 2. Explain how materials cycle in an ecosystem. Now let me check what you know about our lesson by letting you answer the what I know part. For the directions, first, read each statement and choose the letter of the best answer. Second, write your answers on your answer sheet. You may start now. Number 1. What is the main source of energy in a food chain? A. Air. B. Decomposers. C. Plants. And letter D. Sun. Number 2. What do you call the chemical elements and compounds that are essential to the growth and development of living organisms? A. Fertilizers. B. Materials. C. Nutrients. And letter D. Substances. Number 3. What is the movement of chemical elements and compounds between the biotic and abiotic factors within the ecosystem? A. Biochemical cycle. B. Element cycle. C. Biogeochemical cycle. And letter D. Energy cycle. Number 4. What is the second most abundant gas with 21% in the atmosphere? A. Carbon dioxide. B. Nitrogen. C. Hydrogen. And letter D. Oxygen. Number 5. Photosynthesis is the process of blank. A. Food making in plants. B. Producing oxygen in plants. C. Producing food for animals. And letter D. Producing carbon dioxide from plants. For items 6 to 15, you may answer silently. You may pause this video so you can answer the what I know part. Click the play button when you are finished so we can check your answers. You may start now. That ends the what I know part. Let us check your answers. The answers are 1. D. 2. C. 3. B. 4. D. 5. A. 6. D. 7. B. 8. B. 9. A. 10. C. 11. D. 12. C. 13. C. 14. B. And 15. C. How many correct answers did you get? If your score is 14 to 15, very good, but you are still encouraged to go through this lesson. If your score is 11 to 13, good. Go over the items that you find difficult and then you may proceed to the lesson. If your score is 0 to 10, don't worry about your score. This part is meant to find out what you know about the lesson. In the previous lesson, you have learned the different elements and compounds. These materials flow in a cycle to help organisms survive. Before we proceed to our main lesson, I would like you to take the first challenge. Are you ready? Do Activity 1 entitled Word Digest Search. For the directions, search the words shown in the word list and line each word you find. You may pause this video so you can answer the activity. You may start now. Let's check your answers. The answers are respiration, oxygen, condensation, transpiration, assimilation, runoff, nitrogen, percolate, carbon dioxide, water vapor, and photosynthesis. Do you have an idea about our lesson, my dear Sci learners? I know, you know, that there are lots of waste materials each year which are considered useless. However, you need to think that not all are useless because they break down, recycled, and used by other living organisms. This is true in what you have learned in your TLE subject, that waste materials like farm waste are used in order for the plants to grow. Also, it will increase crop production. Without them, there will be no life. Want to know more? Let's find out in today's lesson, which is the biogeochemical cycle, or what is known as the cycling materials in an ecosystem. For you to understand clearly our lesson, let's define terms like bio, geo, chemical, cycle, and biogeochemical cycle. Bio means life. Geo means earth. Chemical means elements. Cycle means circle. Biogeochemical cycle is the process by which the biotic or living things and abiotic or non-living things factors interact with each other with the help of the energy transferred from the sun to producers to consumers in the ecosystem. The cycle undergoes three processes. First is the oxygen-carbon cycle. Second is the water cycle. And third is the nitrogen cycle. Oxygen-carbon cycle undergoes four processes. 1. Photosynthesis. 2. Respiration. 3. Combustion. And 4. Decomposition. In photosynthesis, green plants take in carbon dioxide and water using the chlorophyll in their leaves and uses energy from the sunlight to manufacture their own food. In return, plants give off oxygen through the tiny opening of the plant called stomata and later used by the animals when they breathe. By the way, chlorophyll is the green coloring of plants. In respiration, animals and plants breathe in oxygen during respiration. Animals breathe in oxygen and give off carbon dioxide. This happens day and night. On the other hand, plants take in carbon dioxide and give off oxygen during photosynthesis. In combustion, carbon returns to the atmosphere through the burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and emission from automobiles and factories. In decomposition, the dead organisms like plants and animals and waste products decay into the ground. Fungi and bacteria then break down these organisms with the presence of oxygen and releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Well, it seems it's raining. Everyone reported rains? Let's find out through the second cycle. The second cycle is the water cycle or hydrologic cycle. This undergoes 4 stages. First, the water goes into the atmosphere through evaporation and transpiration. In evaporation, the sun warms the surface of water in the oceans, rivers, lakes, and land. The water now becomes water vapor and released into the atmosphere. You too can observe water vapor at home. This happens when the water boils and you see the steam coming out from the kettle and water evaporates in the air. In transpiration, the water from the leaves evaporates from the tiny opening of a leaf called stomata. The second stage of the water cycle is condensation. Water is collected in the atmosphere, cools down, and forms clouds. Same thing happens when you observe droplets from the cover of the pot when you cook at home. The cycle continues. The third stage is precipitation. This is the process where the rain falls to the ground. The fourth stage is infiltration. It is where some of the water from the rain seeps into the ground. The water soaks and becomes groundwater, where we get our water supply. Furthermore, some of the water runs off the river, lakes, and oceans. The third cycle is the nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen comprises 79% in the Earth's atmosphere. However, most of the organisms like plants cannot use it directly without undergoing conversion. In mathematics, you too convert, right? For example, inches to feet, millimeters to centimeters, etc. You convert these units for information purposes. The same true with nitrogen. It needs to be converted in order for the producers like plants to use it. To understand further, let us take the 4 important stages of the cycle. First is assimilation. In this stage, nitrogen enters the food chain in which plants get nitrogen in the form of nitrate, nitrite, ammonium, and urea through the roots. Second is ammonification. This is also known as the decaying stage. When organisms like plants and animals die, decomposers like bacteria and fungi turn the nitrogen back into the ammonium in the soil to be used as fertilizer and later returned back into the cycle. Third is nitrification. In this cycle, soil bacteria or nitrifying bacteria converts ammonium to nitrates, which is used by plants through the root system. Fourth is denitrification. In this stage, the soil bacteria converts nitrate to nitrogen gas and release into the atmosphere.
Was the discussion clear to you? Did it boost your views about the lesson? Now be ready with the second challenge. Do Activity 3, Task 1. Before you answer, follow the direction. Label the diagram using the statements and write the letter on your answer sheet. You may pause this video as you work with Task 1. Are you done with your second challenge? I hope so. Now let us check your answers. The answers are 1. A, 2. B, 3. D, and 4. C. That was so inspiring. You were able to finish this part. Now accept your second star award. Hello, are you still with me? Before we continue, take a deep breath and stretch your arms. Feeling great? Let's continue the challenge. For task 2, label the diagram using the words. The choices can be used more than once. Write the letters in your answer sheets. You may pause this video so you can answer task 2. You may start now. Finish? Let us check your answers. The answers are 1. D, 2. A, 3. C, 4. B, and 5. B. Did you get it right? Now accept your 3rd star award. Let's proceed to the next challenge. For task 3, label the diagram using the words and write the letters on your answer sheets. You may pause this video as you answer task 3. You may start now. Now let's check your answers. The answers are 1. A, 2. D, 3. C, and 4. B. Did you get the correct answers? Congratulations! Now accept your 4th star award. To sum up our lesson, I would like you to complete the table. For items 1 to 5, identify the process being described in the first column. For items 6 to 10, identify what cycle does the process belong in the 3rd column. Write your answers in your answer sheet. Are you ready to take the 5th challenge? This time, you are going to relate what you have learned in real-life situation by explaining the role of each organism in the ecosystem. Description: A. Animals breathe in oxygen and in turn give off carbon dioxide. At night, plants do breathe just like the animals. They absorb oxygen and produce carbon dioxide. B. This process happens when water droplets from clouds fall to the earth in the form of rain, sleet, or snow. C. The production of ammonia by bacteria during the decay of organic matter. Ammonia can be used as fertilizer or may be further processed into urea and later to ammonium nitrate. D. As the water vapor from the bodies of water and from the leaves of the plants reaches the upper troposphere, it cools down and it condenses to form clouds. E. Ammonium ions can be changed into nitrites and nitrates, and the nitrogen cycle starts again, or nitrites and nitrates will be converted by bacteria into nitrogen gas. A scoring rubric is presented to you to be guided in answering and for me to be directed in checking your answers. You will get 5 points if the answer is complete. All provided information is accurate. You get 4 points if the answer is missing one detail. All provided information is accurate. You get 4 points if the answer is missing one detail. All provided information is accurate. You get 3 points if the answer is missing 2 details. Almost all provided information is accurate. You get 2 points if the answer to the question is lacking. Some provided information is accurate. And you get 1 point if the question is not answered. A small amount of provided information is accurate. You may pause this video to answer the activity. You may start now. At last, it is time to evaluate your work. Now take the final challenge to complete your star awards. For your 5th challenge, answer the pause assessment. Here are the instructions. First, carefully read each statement and choose the letter of the best answer. Second, write your answer in your answer sheet. You may pause this video to answer the activity. You may start now.
Are you done? Let's check your answers. The answers are 1. B, 2. D, 3. C, 4. A, 5. D, 6. B, 7. D, 8. C, 9. B, 10. A, 11. C, 12. D, 13. B, 14. C, and 15. C.
What is your score? Compare your score in the What I Know part with the post-assessment part. Did it improve? If yes, congratulations! Now accept your 5th star award.
But if your score is low, don't worry. What matters most is you learned something. If you feel the need to redo our lesson, go ahead and play this video again. Before we end, let us go over the objectives if we attained it. 1. Analyze the roles of organisms in the cycling of materials. Did we attain this? Yes. 2. Explain how materials cycle in an ecosystem. Did we attain this? Yes.
That ends the lesson in this video. Congratulations for completing the challenges. You have finished the lesson for Quarter 4, Module 6. Give yourself a round of applause. Thank you very much for watching and listening. See you on the next lesson for Science 8. Again, this is Sheila Ann leaving this message. It is our collective and individual responsibility to preserve and tend to the world in which we all live. Dalai Lama.